Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is Dirt Bike Channel. I'm your host Kyle Brotherson, and today I want to do a product spotlight. See, I want to add a headlight to my 2021 KTM 250 XC. I don't do a lot of night riding, but every once in a while you can get caught out there. And this is one of the best headlight systems that I've seen. It's the Acerbis VSL LED headlight to put up here on the front of the bike. But after they went TPI, KTM stopped putting power up behind the number plate on these XC bikes. So the XC bikes and the TX bikes, the XCF bikes, they don't have power coming up behind the headlight or behind the number plate anymore. So that's where this True North Motos relayed wire harness comes in. I'm gonna install this, and I really like this option because it's got a factory KTM relay. It'll have power for a taillight, which I'm not gonna do. And it's got a fuse on it as well. It also connects to your ECU using this OBD2 connector under your ECU, which means it'll turn on and off with the bike and it won't run your battery dead. And then you run the power up on the frame, and you'll have actually power for accessories if you wanted to run a GPS or if you wanted to power your radiator fan or something up here, you'll have power up there. There's also an on-off switch for this. So this kit, this True North Motos kit, is not cheap, but it is the best way that I've found if you want to have relayed power with fuses and hooking to the ECU. Really cool setup there if you want your bike to be just really nice on this. So let's take a look at how we install this. One of the best ways you can support Dirt Bike Channel, if you want to do that, is to use the links to Rocky Mountain ATV and Amazon and Motorsport. They're down in the video description, or they're over on my website, dirtbikechannel.com. You can find them there on desktop and mobile. That would really help me out. Okay, let's get into the video. So just so we're all on the same page, these KTM TPI bikes have a 195 watt stator, so there's plenty of power here to power this headlight, radiator fan, other accessories. And here's your relay, and I'm going to actually just mount this relay over on this side just because I think it'll keep things out of the way as much as possible. And then we're just gonna route all of these other connections. Here's your battery connections. This will be your tail light that will drop down into the airbox, which I'm not gonna use. This is our OBD2 connector, which will go under the ECU right here. And then lastly, we've just got the string going up to the front, which is our headlight connector right here. And then two other power leads for accessories up on the front. So we're just gonna route this stuff here on the bike. I'm also just gonna disconnect my battery here, remove all the power from the motorcycle before we start playing around with all this stuff. So I was just trying to find the cleanest route. I ended up popping this relay off and sticking my True North Motos relay under this. I'll put this back on, but this is just kind of like the cleanest cable routing, so I can come down where the OEM cables go. This will drop down into my airbox, and then this will go to my ECU. This is the best little thing I can find here. I decided to tape up my tail light connection just so this doesn't get a bunch of dirt and grime in it, and I'm gonna stuff this down through into the airbox if I can. This is just for some other person if they ever decide to install a tail light on this bike. I'm not gonna do it, but if somebody else wants to after in a future life, then they've got that down there. Moving forward, I'm gonna just run it along the main wiring harness of the bike. So we're gonna come through here, and then I will zip tie this stuff together right here, and then we're gonna just, I don't know if you can see that, we're gonna continue right through up here, zip tying as we go. I'll put this underneath these things here. I'm not worried about getting these things super tight. I just want it to stay in place. Okay, so here's your OBD2 connector, and that's gonna go to these connections here. Sometimes this is underneath your ECU, and sometimes it's down in the airbox. In fact, a lot of times this is hanging down in the airbox. I just push this back up through because I'm gonna install this down here underneath my ECU just for a cleaner fit. So we'll just pop this little cap off. I'm gonna store that for later. And then this, we're gonna put this right down through here, get the wires routed all nice and pretty in a minute. But this will go here, and then we can just install this right down here, like so. figure out the best way to do this. You can put this in either way. See, you can slide it in, whatever's gonna work best for you and your bike. I think on this bike, with everything, I'm just going to put it just like that. Put it down there, and then install my ECU back on top of this, and we'll be good to go. Just like that. Okay, nice and clean down under there, and I don't have anything dangling in my airbox anymore. Okay, now we're ready to hook up our power. So I'm gonna install my power wire first and my ground wire last. Okay, now I'm pretty satisfied with how I've got all these wires run back here. Nothing's too crazy out of shape. We're running our wire up the original wiring harness and up to the front of the bike. And now we're ready to install that headlight. So now let's get everything situated up at the front. This is the headlight on-off switch, so I've got to get these connectors in here really well and then waterproof those on both sides. And then I'm going to go ahead and just tape up the accessories here, tape it back onto the thing so that they don't get dirt and grime in them. One of the things I love so much about this True North Motos wiring kit is everything is like really well done, really well thought out. So now that is essentially waterproof with the connections on there. And then I will install my headlight switch over on the headlight as well. But I'm gonna spend a minute to just kind of get these wires organized here. You've got a sweet little waterproof headlight switch here, which will go into the Acerbis. It goes into the Acerbis headlight and into any of the stock headlights. So now that's wired in there. And I'm just going to then plug in my power here with the headlight, plug that in. And then I'm just gonna get these wires kind of, again, another zip tie to organize these things so that it's not wires from heck to breakfast. Something else is I also didn't notice till just a few minutes ago that the Acerbis headlight does not come with these attachments, the rubber bands to attach this to the forks. So I had to go steal this off another one of my bikes. But if you're gonna order this Acerbis VSL headlight, you're gonna wanna go to the KTM or the Rocky Mountain ATV OEM parts finder and buy these little straps. They're like $8 a pop or something like that. And then you'll be ready to install it. I just grabbed it off another bike out there, but I think I've got my wires all in the right place now, and I'll just kind of stuff this thing back through. Backing up just a second, once I saw what the light switch wires connections were gonna look like right there, I just went ahead and wrapped them with electrical tape. Now I'll finish putting this on. And that's it. Now I've got a relayed light. And you'll see that this will actually turn off in just a second. I've got the switch here, but you don't need to turn the switch off because of that relay. It will turn this off in just a minute. Just to be completely clear, I paid full price for all this stuff from True North Motos, and then I bought the True North Motos is the wiring kit and the harness kit. The VSL headlight from Acerbis I bought from Rocky Mountain ATV. And I pay full price for all the stuff that I show you guys because I want to show you really what I think about it and not have any kind of ties to the manufacturer. So as you see, that did pop off. If you have that accessory plugged in anything, it would turn off your accessory at that time. And I think this is a really, really great aftermarket headlight option. This is a lot brighter than the stock headlight on these KTMs. And this relayed power up to it is the best that I've seen. Yes, it's expensive, but it's waterproof switch, waterproof connections, relay, it goes to your ECU, so it's, turns on and off, won't run your battery dead. I think that is pretty cool. If you want to support Dirt Bike Channel, one of the best ways you can do it is go to Rocky Mountain ATV, or use my links for Rocky Mountain ATV when you're buying stuff like this. I have links down in the video description, and I also have them over on my website, dirtbikechannel.com. If you go over there, click on the links section before you order your parts, that would be great. If you want a bookmark to send, I can email you a bookmark that you can put in your browser so that I will get referral credit from all of your purchases, which would help me out a ton. Also, if you want to get in on the Dirt Bike Channel sweepstakes that I have going right now, I'm giving away a KTM 125 XC, a KX, a Kawasaki KX 250X, and a KTM 1290 Super Adventure S. The details for that are over on my website, dirtbikechannel.com. It ends June 30th, so make sure that you get entered before that time. I'm doing these sweepstakes all the time, so check back. There's ways that you can enter, no purchases necessary, and that's what I've got going for you today. So I'm gonna go out there, put the seat back on, put my airbox back on, and then this bike will be ready to roll for some of those really sweet night rides. Okay, thanks so much everyone, and leave a single track.